Good afternoon, friends. You may be missing out on this. Officials have announced that 1 in 5 Americans do not claim the Earned Income Tax Credit. This could mean missing out on thousands of dollars in extra financial relief. The Internal Revenue Service is urging the American people to take action as soon as possible in order to receive this aid. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
For your testimony and for being with us today. You have been consistent in your testimony to this committee that EPA has not had the adequate resources needed to fully implement the Lautenberg Act, and I think most of us would agree with that. Funding for the program can come from 2 different sources, as we know. User fees generated by EPA and annual appropriations provided by us. In FY 2023, EPA received some additional resources from Congress, as you know, though still well short of the President's request. The EPA is also working to improve its ability to collect user fees. Would you give us a sense of what the EPA was able to do with the increased funding in FY 2023? I know you've touched on this to some extent, but I think it could deserve some additional attention. And what more would the EPA be able to do if the agency received additional funding through both annual appropriations and more effective user fee collection?
Well, thanks very much for that question, Senator Carper. And we have really prioritized hiring with that additional pay increase or funding increase, and have especially focused our efforts on the new chemicals division, because we really do agree that that was the area that was most under-resourced as a result of the new law, which basically changed our, what our past practice had been, which was reviewing 20% of new chemicals before they go into commerce, to doing 100% of new chemicals before they go into commerce. So 5 times the amount of work, and for 6 years, 0 extra dollars with which to do it. So in addition to sort of to prioritizing hiring and getting people in the door and trained as quickly as possible, we've also really tried to standardize our approaches for chemistries that we know industry comes in with a lot of applications for. So, for example, we've been working to create a standardized and streamlined review process for the chemicals that are needed by the battery sector. We've got a years-long collaboration with the semiconductor sector, and that has resulted in a regulatory path forward for dozens of the photoacid generators that they need to do their work. And I personally met with them a couple weeks ago, and we talked about expanding that collaboration in the future. So we've really tried to work smarter, not harder, which is something Senator Markey often says, and are going to continue to do so with the funding that we have. If we got more, we'd be able to modernize those standard operating procedures more quickly. We'd be able to modernize our science policies more quickly. We'd be able to create efficient approaches for classes of chemistries more quickly. And of course, we'd also be able to write rules more quickly and do risk evaluations more quickly, which would move through the tens of thousands of chemicals that were left unreviewed under the old law more quickly as well.
All right, thank you. Before I turn to Senator Capito for her questions, I have one more I want to ask. In 2018, the previous administration, you'll recall, promulgated a user fee rule that was based on faulty data, which has limited the EPA's ability to collect user fees as intended by those of us who worked to pass the Lautenberg Act.
According to Yahoo News, the Earned Income Tax Credit is a valuable tax credit that many taxpayers normally miss. Historically, 1 in 5 eligible Americans do not claim the Earned Income Tax Credit. This has prompted the Internal Revenue Service to hold an EITC Awareness Day each year. This year, that is today, January 26th. To qualify for Earned Income Tax Credit, you must be between 25 and 64 years old and have earned income within certain limits. The amount of your credit also depends on the number of kids you have and your filing status. the maximum available amount of the credit increased this year because the credit has been adjusted for inflation. Garrett Watson, a senior policy analyst at the Tax Foundation, told Yahoo News, "Inflation erodes the value of a fixed credit amount each year, so the credit amounts are adjusted for inflation, so the real value of the credit does not go down over time. If the credit was not indexed from 2020 until now, the value would be over 20% less today than it was back in 2020, meaning that working households who earn the credit would be receiving less in real terms than they were years ago." The credit primarily helps low and moderate income families, but it's possible for taxpayers with no children to qualify. The maximum credit for eligible taxpayers with no children is $600, and that number is up from $500 last year. Earned income is wages, salary, tips, self-employment, and work from your side hustle or gig, like temporary work, working as a driver for a rideshare or delivery service, or selling merchandise online. According to Yahoo News, money received from unemployment benefits, child support, Social Security, pensions, or annuities is not considered earned income. So friends, please make sure to check whether you qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit. There was also some changes in the housing market. In the month of December, rental prices exhibited a modest decline. While this drop might not immediately alleviate the financial strain on renters, there is an optimistic outlook on the horizon. Realtors.com chief economist Daniel Hale shared insights during an interview with Yahoo News, highlighting the anticipated surge in new apartments set to enter the market. According to Hale, the influx of supply is poised to bolster inventory levels, offering some respite to renters' financial constraints. He emphasized the substantial pipeline of available units and expressed confidence in the continuation of the softening trend, providing renters with the opportunity for their incomes to catch up. So the prospect of a sustained decline in rental prices carries implications beyond individual renters. It stands as positive news for the Federal Reserve, which has been actively adjusting interest rates to counteract inflation. The impact of the surge in new apartment supply has already been evident throughout much of the preceding year. According to recent data, December marked the 8th consecutive month of decline in rental prices, registering a 0.4% annual drop. But despite this encouraging trend, renters are still contending with higher costs compared to pre-crisis times. The median asking rent in December stood at $1,713, reflecting a 22% increase from the same month in 2019. Regional disparities also play a significant role in shaping rental dynamics. In the West and South, an oversupply of apartments has led to a decline in prices. But in contrast, the Northeast and Midwest are experiencing a scenario where demand outstrips supply, resulting in a steady growth in rent. Daniel Hale also underscores the importance of paying attention to local trends, emphasizing the regional variations in supply and demand. Additionally, she notes that whether a renter is staying in their current location or relocating can also influence rental prices. Well, my amazing and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. I will be announcing several winners in a video later today for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed Friday.